Satu-satu langsung otomatis. Oke, teman-teman, yang lain? Lanjut, oke.
Okay, continue, sis.
Okay, so if you want to add any other objects, then in the Attach Objects window, you can press Insert, and then, for example, you can add people.
Kalau kita mau nambahkan objek yang lain, kita pilih lagi yang atas objek, kemudian tadi ada pilihannya, ada pilih misalnya kita mau pilih people ya, orang, jadi artisnya gitu.
So you can see now the artist is here in the visualizer.
Nah, kelihatan sekarang artisnya di visualizer.
You can go and add another object, insert. For example, you can add furniture.
Bisa tambah furniture.
So this could be a drum kit.
Drum kit.
See, it says here drum kit. Or
Yeah,
you can
kit.
change it, for example, to guitar acoustic.
Gitar juga bisa.
And many other options here. Let's say piano.
Grand piano. Ya, ada pilihannya ya, bisa dipilih mana yang dikehendaki.
You can also add 3D objects. For example, if you press insert and you choose the model.
Ya, kalau kita pilih insert dan model, kita bisa masukkan 3D.
Then if you go to the texture and double click.
Texture-nya di double click.
You can add something like a car. Sorry, a Volvo car. Where is it? It's a bit slow because I have computer struggling. Let me see. Yeah, it cannot probably show it because it's my computer is struggling, but I can try to do it again. Okay. I can try to do it like this. No. So I cannot show you on this one, but if I had a separate visualizer, you will be able to see a Volvo car.
Ya, karena ini komputernya berat kerjanya, jadi tidak bisa menampilkan gambar 3D yang tadi dijanjikan sama Asis ya. Jadi ini berguna kalau kita ngeset kayak pameran itu.
Actually, no. Sorry, I'm lying. It's here. The car is here, actually.
Behind.
It's big. Yeah, sorry. I need to make it a little bit bigger.
Oke. Nah, itu. Ternyata size-nya tadi yang kurang tepat.
Yeah, and then you have to rotate it. I think it's like here, 90 degrees. Sorry. You can use the rotation like this.
Rotasinya bisa diputer, dipakai untuk memutar itu.
You can rotate it. And then you can adjust the size. So you will be able to see a car, a 3D object dropping in the options here too.
Ya, itu kelihatan ya.
So you can see here a Volvo car on your stage.
Volvo-nya di atasnya piano.
Yeah, so this is how you can add your objects and then create a stage, because you can have a lot of different trusses and you can have the objects and you can create a big, massive, beautiful stage inside of the Magic Quiz.
Ya, jadi pada dasarnya ini ya caranya untuk membuat stage dan memasukkan objek-objek di dalam stage selain fixture dan rigging tentunya ya.
Okay. Okay. So, and that's about it. You can play with the different options here, or I made a tutorial in English language, how to work with the visualizer, and I explain more things about it.
In YouTube.
YouTube, yes.
Ya, dan bagi teman-teman yang masih pengen gali lebih dalam lagi, Asis sudah membuat di YouTube yang lebih detail lagi ya untuk membuat stage dan lain sebagainya. Persiapan visualizer seperti ini ada di YouTube, bisa diakses nanti. Tapi basicnya ya seperti ini.
Aziz,
Yes.
do you have your YouTube links with you right now?
Yeah, well, I can open. Give me a second.
I think once they have one of your YouTube link, it's gonna be much
Mhm.
faster for them to search for others, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Of course, I have
Yep.
many videos. So stay online. I will bring I will copy it from my phone and I will show it to you. So
Is it your
chamsys.
personal channel or from chamsys channel?
Okay, give me a second.
Teman-teman sampai dengan ini pahamkah?
So I'm gonna share it in the chat.
Yes, chat please.
This is the one.
Oke, ini jadi Aziz kasih salah satu linknya YouTube ya untuk
Yes.
nanti teman-teman bisa pelajarin lebih lagi, lebih dalam lagi.
Yeah. So use this tutorial. They're all visual, and you will be able to learn from them.
Ya, ini tutorialnya cukup lengkap, bisa dipelajari, bisa di-pause, diulang berkali-kali gitu. Coba bareng-bareng juga waktu bikin di PC.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are typing terima kasih. Terima kasih means thank you.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome. No problems. Okay, let me delete these models because my computer is struggling with them. So I will remove them and I'll just keep the truss. I'll make maybe a straight truss again and I will attach the lights. Sorry, fit to object truss. I'll move my truss a little bit into the stage. Okay, yeah, so this is how you add objects and trussing on Magic Quiz.
Ya,
Any
jadi
questions?
ada pertanyaan lagi? Ini disimpelkan lagi sama Asis ya, biar lebih ringan komputer dia kerjanya, biar lebih lancar. Ada pertanyaan lagi teman-teman?
If not, then we can go to the second question, Andy.
Yes, please. Actually, you already mentioned three. Actually, you already answered three questions.
Have I? Okay.
Yes, because you already explained to us about the. You already explained to us about creating the stage, in which now
Yes.
everybody knows, right? And then
Okay,
you
yes.
already create the trust. And then you even explain the circular thrust, right? And
Yes.
then
Yes.
also putting the lighting fixtures and attaching them to the truss. Yeah, I think
Yes.
you already explained three of the questions.
Okay, good.
Yep. But maybe
Okay, and
if
yeah.
you can, because actually they are also joining this. Some of them are also joining the lighting competitions.
Sure, sure.
So maybe you can give them a little tricks about creating the truss. You already have the straight lines, and then the circular, and then how to make them maybe vertical or okay, something like that.
Okay.
Ya
Okay,
teman-teman
so
ya,
if
saya tadi udah info ke Asis, karena ini kan sebetulnya juga salah satu cara untuk kita bisa tahu lebih banyak gimana cara kita bikin trust yang lebih artistik ya kan. Tips triksnya mungkin
okay.
kita minta dia untuk bikin trust yang bukan cuman lurus, tapi mungkin berdiri atau nanti miring gitu-gitu ya. Biar nanti kalian bisa bereksplorasi dengan creativity kalian lebih lagi. Yes, please
Okay,
Asis.
so first of all, if you wanna rotate your truss or move it around, okay, So when you go in attach objects and you select your truss, you can move it up, down, and back and forth using X, Y, Z, okay? And at the same time, you can always use the rotation. So you can see it rotates.
Ya, jadi kita bisa XY tadi kita bisa ini, terus kita juga bisa rotate ya. Jadi itu putaran-putaran yang di kanan kiri itu.
And you can see the lights are moving around without any problems.
Ya, dan lampunya gerak-gerak ikuti aja.
Also, if you want to, the lights are selected, you want to spread them more, you know, like a fan, then you can go in the selected heads.
Kalau mau itu
Then
mau dibikin lebih menyebar lagi kayak fan gitu.
Then you press fan, so it's switched on. And then, for example, you can use the X axis, and you can see the lights are changing on the X. Or you can make them to go closer to each other. So the fan function works here too.
Ya, jadi fan function itu bisa dipakai juga di sini.
So the other thing that sometimes users do not know about is following. Let me put it all straight.
Ya, kadang-kadang ini yang tidak diketahui oleh user ya.
So, if you look closer to the truss,
kalau kita lihat lebih dekat lagi ke ridging-nya ini,
you can see the lights are positioned right at the bottom here on the truss.
Nah, ini kan kita kelihatan kalau lampunya, fixture-nya ini pas di bagian bawahnya ridging ya.
So, if you would like to change if it's positioned at the front of the truss, at the back of the truss, maybe on this side of the truss, you know, you're hanging it differently.
Ya, tapi kan kadang-kadang situasi lapangan kita bisa naruhnya bukan cuma di bawah ya, di depan.
Then you're in the patch view, in the patch window, and if you're in the view heads, so this normal look.
Ini yang sekarang ini seperti ini, kita pilih view heads dulu.
On the right-hand side of your fixture, there is a hang type. It's called, you see, it says normal.
Nah, itu ada hang type ya. Berarti digantung dengan cara seperti apa. Di situ disebutkan normal ya. Normal itu digantung di bawah ridging.
So you click on the top of the hang type, so everything is selected in yellow. Okay, now if you press that part of the window, you see the above playback 6 and 9, you click here.
Ya, kalau klik space yang di bawah itu, keluar itu pilihannya.
It brings you the window which is called set hang type. So if you choose, for example, bottom boom, you can see it moves to the bottom part of your truss.
Ya, itu di bagian bawah dari ridging.
You can choose different options. Let's say top fronts face up.
Yeah,
and it's going to look up. So as you can see, you've got a lot of different options how you can hang your light, and that will be sort of close to realities of how you can hang your lights. For example, maybe bottom rear, it moves here, or top fronts face up. Okay, this thing a lot of people don't know about.
Nah, ini yang bisa dilakukan ya. So, Asis, there is plenty fixture, but if they only want to bottom boom like 5 or 6, so they had to
just choose some of them. Yeah, for example, you can choose these lights. you choose here and you say bottom boom, and then move. See?
Nah, bisa juga enggak semuanya ya. Jadi kalau misalnya yang ganjil aja mau yang bottom boom, yang lainnya posisi yang mana bisa kita pilih ya. Kita yang tentukan mana yang mau posisinya seperti apa.
Okay.
Okay.
And the last two things I'm going to show you related to the tips and tricks would be, so in the latest beta, we've added a special function, two functions, is, sometimes when you're patching the lights in a visualizer and some of the lights are very, very bright and some of the lights are not too bright and you want to sometimes make them look similar because very bright lights can make it impossible to use.
Ya, ini di versi beta yang paling akhir, yang paling baru itu ada penambahan. Jadi kadang-kadang kalau di kita visualizer itu ada lampu yang lebih terang, jauh lebih terang daripada lampu yang lainnya. Nah ini akhirnya membuat lampu yang kurang terang itu jadi kelihatan kayak enggak menarik atau enggak jelas lagi gitu ya. Nah ini bisa di-adjust sepertinya. Oke, continue Aziz.
Okay, yes. And for this, you can always go to the view vis.
Kita pilih
It's in the
view
patch
vis.
unit of view vis. Okay. And in the view vis, in the selected heads column,
Ya.
you have an option to change the brightness of the lights from 100% to make it less.
Nah, di sana itu ada pilihan brightness ya dari selected heads.
Yeah.
Kita
Yeah,
ada
so
brightness yang bisa kita adjust.
this will only affect the lights in a visualizer and it will not affect the lights in a real life.
Nah, ini cuman akan memberikan pengaruh pada kondisi visualizer. Jadi bukan pada saat kita mainkan beneran di scene-nya di lapangan enggak, tapi cuma untuk bantu kita di visualizer.
Okay, and the last thing we've added here, again, only for visualizer, is the option of pan invert and tilt invert for vis only. So per each light. Why, you may ask? Because when you're patching the lights and then you're hanging your lights in a real life, it could be different. So that means when you start using your console in a pre-programming, you may come with a problem that the real life lights are going back and the visualizer lights going forward. You move to the left, it goes to the right. So in order to match them, you can do pan, tilt, invert for visualize the lights here, so they will match the real life.
Nah, kemudian ada tambahan lagi, itu ada pan invert sama tilt invert. Nah, ini berguna kalau misalnya sebelum acara kita sudah bikin setup-nya tepat, bagus, sempurna gitu. Kemudian waktu di lapangan ternyata ngaco ya karena ada lampu yang posisinya kebalik dan kemudian kalau orang ini harus naik dan apa sebagainya kesulitan. Nah, kita bisa invert, kita bisa balik dia yang di visualizer kita balik. Kemudian kita sesuaikan nanti jalannya dia seperti apa. Jadi kita akhirnya kita compromise ya kondisi lapangan yang seperti itu, tapi kita bisa dapatkan lebih mudah untuk menyesuaikannya dengan bantuan visualizer yang ada fasilitas untuk di invert pan sama tiltnya. Oke, Aziz.
Okay.
Yep.
So yes, this is relates to the visualizer, and of course you can play with this because those things like a pan and tilts, they're very, very new, and the brightness control is also very new. So that means it may be useful. For example, if you're using some bright LED washes, and then you're using some spots and profiles. Of course, LED washes can be too bright, so you can change their brightness here and leave the spots and profiles on the full on. So this is what I wanted to show you about the visualizer that hopefully should help you.
Ya, jadi fitur-fitur ini bisa membantu sekali nanti kalau teman-teman masang ada fitur-fitur yang baru seperti LED washer yang sangat terang gitu, kelihatan kayak nutupi semua stage-nya. Jadi, nah Kita bisa turunkan brightness-nya, tapi yang di spot bisa kita tetap 100%, jadi tetap kelihatan rata, kelihatan bagus.
Mhm.
Oke, Aziz.
Okay.
Oke.
So yeah, any other questions about the visualizer? Also, maybe I will show you one more thing. If you're working with the generic lights, okay, if you're working like with the Parcan or Fresnels, and you need to use some gels, you know, to give the different colors, to simulate the different colors, I will show you how to do it.
Nah, jadi misalnya Anda ada pilihan untuk menggunakan lampu generik, jadi Parken yang incandescent, yang lampu pijar itu, atau Fresnel yang juga masih pakai pakai bohlam yang panas itu, kita bisa tambahkan color gel. Nah, ini dikasih tunjukkan sama Asis.
Mm-hmm.
Oke.
So if you want to add generic lights, you press choose dimmer media.
Nah, itu
It's in the
pilihannya
patch
choose
window.
dimmer. Ya, choose dimmer media.
And you press generic dimmer.
Generic dimmer.
So now you can patch, for example, you press patch it, and let's patch 12 of them.
Ya, seperti tadi, diulangi lagi, patch it, kita pasang 12 di
And then you press add
add.
universe 3-1 and press enter. So you have 12 of them patched in.
Nah, itu ada 12 sudah.
Now, if you would like to test them, you can press locate and you can see they're all white.
Klik locate, kemudian kelihatan semuanya putih.
Now, if you press clear, so we can work with them.
Clear.
Now, if you press on dimmer as a filter, so we can see only dimmers.
Ya, kalau kita
For
klik
example,
dimmer yang keluar itu saja.
yeah, so you can change the gel. See, it says gel here. You can select, let's say, for the first 4 lights. And if you want to apply, let's say you're using the, filters for the lights, and let's say it's a filter 131, Lee 131 filter, then
Yeah.
you can type 131, see here, 131, and you press enter. So now you have set the filter, the gel, on the lights to be filter 131 marine blue.
Kita tinggal
Maybe the
masukkan angkanya, nanti color gelnya keluar tipenya warna apa gitu. So how they recognize the number, Asis? It is
okay,
based on Lee.
okay, yes. So normally, when you're using generic Fresnels or something like in places like churches or somewhere else, if it's not LED,
Yes.
it's normally just a white light. Okay,
Okay.
and you can put in front of them, in front of the lights, in front of the parkan, you can add the gels. You can buy them, Lee gels, Roscoe gels, Apollo gels, etc. It's a sheets of paper, the see-through paper, and the lights, when it's going through, it changes the color. I mean, it's all technology.
Yeah, yeah.
So these numbers, I'm just giving its example. I just come up with a number, let's say Lee filter 131, and you type in. If, for example, you don't know the number, but the gel looks like red, you can select the gel and type red, so in English, red, and you press enter, it changes to red. Now,
Okay.
if we select all these lights, oh, sorry. If we select all these lights, if we select all these lights, press enter and we press locate, you can see now the first 4 lights are with a blue color,
Okay.
the other 4 lights with a red color, exactly as we specified. The other 4 were left without any gels. Therefore, you can see it all has the different colors in the visualizer.
Yeah. Jadi kita bisa masukkan angka, misalnya kita sudah tahu color gelnya itu angkanya berapa, kita bisa masukkan kodenya itu kalau L itu Li 131 misalnya, ternyata yang warnanya itu biru ya. Tapi kalau misalnya kita kurang tahu tapi dalam bayangan kita mau warna merah misalnya, tinggal ketik aja red gitu ya in English, itu bisa juga. Jadi kita pilih yang di gelnya ini kita masukkan. Lampu yang mana mau warna apa bisa kita pilih.
Mm-hmm.
Oke.
Okay. So, any other questions about the visualizer?
Ada pertanyaan lagi?
If not, then we can continue with the next questions. Andy?
For the next questions, teman-teman udah paham semua ya? Ini mumpung dia ada di sini loh, mumpung dia ada di sini, dipastikan semua paham. Kalau memang ada hal-hal yang menurut kalian bisa bermanfaat, silakan ditanyakan, oke? Kalau memang belum ada pertanyaan lagi ya, di chat sebetulnya sudah sempat dibagikan tentang ini. Kita akan bagi-bagi ASIS exclusive jackets ya. Wah, ini jaket eksklusif dari ASIS, ini very high quality ya, very high quality jackets ya. Tapi teman-teman perlu mau cuman screenshots atau screen capture atau apa namanya? Atau record ya, screen record, lalu share di feed teman-teman baik di IG dan di Facebook, yang paling banyak ya minggu depan sampai dengan tanggal 17 akan mendapatkan 2 very eksklusif jaket. Sepertinya Bro Ableh kayaknya udah pernah punya ini, udah pernah diberikan secara khusus. Ya, oke. Oke, sekarang kita langsung akan lanjut ke pertanyaan berikutnya ya. Pertanyaan berikutnya itu tentang simple shortcuts for programming. So the next question is gonna be the simple shortcut for lighting programming assist. Maybe you can show us how fast and easy it is to program lighting with Magic Q softwares.
Okay. Well, it's hard to show it when I'm using just the computer-based version because computer-based does not have many shortcuts.
I
Meaning the
see.
shortcuts are designed to work on the
On the
console
consoles.
because
Okay.
on a physical console because if
Yes.
you're paying money you are getting more out of it, so that's why there are more shortcuts on the consoles.
Okay.
But for anyone who wants to learn more about shortcuts, there is a section in the manual, in Magic Q manual, sorry, magicq.pdf. So they won't
Abdi
be
jangan
able.
lupa translate.
Ya.
Yeah, give me a second.
Jadi kalau kita menggunakan console, shortcut ini akan sangat lebih berguna lagi ya, dan memang itu disediakan untuk kalau kita pakai console. Jadi sudah ada listnya, ini sedang disiapkan sama si ASIS.
Yes, let me quickly find them on my on computer, and then you will be able to. I will give you exact link where they are.
Jadi untuk shortcut bisa dilihat aja nanti datanya dan tinggal di.
Okay, so I'm sending it to everyone in the chat.
Ya, di chatnya kita kirim.
So there's a link. So if you click on it, it's online documentation, but you can also find it on your computer in the Magic Q manual that comes with the Magic Q software. And in the there are a lot of shortcuts that will allow you to program much faster. Like for example, if you hold, if you have a playback running, sorry, it's my preview. Okay. Yeah, if you have a playback running, holding the all button, this all button, and then clicking on the palette will select only the lights that are running with this palette. So there's a lot of small shortcuts, but I will quickly show you the basking shortcut to make fast color transition on the palettes. Okay.
Ya, contoh-contoh shortcut itu misalnya kalau sekarang sedang jalan ya satu scene ya kita sedang. Kemudian kita tekan all tadi, kemudian kita tekan warna, nanti yang sedang nyala itu akan ikut warnanya seperti palet warna yang kita pilih. Dan ini jadi itu berguna waktu kita kondisi live, memudahkan kita cepat sekali untuk akses. Nah ini coba
Okay.
dikasih contoh sama Asis.
Okay, for example, if you select the Maverick MK2 spotlights,
Oke, spotlight Maverick-nya di select, dipilih.
and then you press locate,
Kemudian klik locate.
okay? So if you press any palette, let's say red palette, you can see all the lights change instantly together.
Ya, kita pilih warna apa aja, nanti semua warnanya ngikut ya, berubah.
Okay, so you will see mine is running a little bit slow because I don't have a massive graphic card. Okay, now if I type, say, 5 seconds, so I type 5,
Kalau diketik
and
5,
then
5 detik.
sorry, if I type 5, and then I click on, say, yellow palette, you will see the lights will change in 5 seconds from red to yellow.
Nah, kalau ketik 5, kemudian dia klik yellow, dia ganti warna dari merah ke yellow dalam waktu 5 detik.
Okay, so, however, if I would like to have the lights to be loaded, let's say, from left to right in a nice transition.
Kalau mau nyalanya dari kiri ke kanan dengan
Then
transisi yang baik.
Then, for example, you can type 5, so it's like 5 seconds.
Ketik 5.
Then you press the star button, this one here.
Kemudian pilih yang star.
And then you click, let's say, on a red palette.
Kemudian ya kita pilih warna merah misalnya.
And you're going to see the lights are changing from left to right. You will see it smooth. On mine is a bit slow.
Ya, kelihatan ya, dia berubah warna dari kiri ke kanan pelan-pelan.
So now you can press record. And you can click on playback to save it.
Kemudian tekan playback untuk save ini.
What I'm doing is, because I'm going to show you a few more examples, and then I will show you how easily we created a nice quick chase that looks like effect, but in reality it's a chase.
Jadi kenapa kok di save? Karena Asis mau buat beberapa lagi. Nanti kelihatan kalau dijalanin dia kelihatan seperti efek gitu ya, sudah seperti sebuah efek yang utuh. Padahal sebenarnya itu cuma chase, tapi ya kita lihat sama-sama.
So now, if you would like to do the same thing, but from right to left,
kalau kita lakukan yang sama, tapi kebalikannya arahnya dari kanan ke kiri.
Then you press, for example, again 5,
ketik
star,
5, star,
then slash,
kemudian slash garis miring,
and then, for example, we press blue.
Kemudian klik warna biru misalnya.
So now it goes from right to left.
Nah, dia gerak dari kanan ke kiri.
Okay. Now let's press again record.
Klik record lagi.
And we click on the playback we've just created. So we create a second step.
Ya, kemudian di playback yang tadi diklik lagi.
Now let's see how to make the lights to change the color into the center.
Sekarang kita buat warnanya berubah ke tengah.
So if you press 5,
Ketik 5
then
lagi,
you press star,
bintang,
and then you press plus,
kemudian plus,
and then for example you press magenta,
kemudian ya kita pilih warna magenta.
you can see it's gone into the center.
Nah, dia berubahnya ke tengah ya, dari pinggir ke tengah berubah warnanya.
Again, let's press record,
Klik record,
and you click again on the playback.
klik lagi di playback.
Let's do the one to do it outside of the center. So we press 5 star minus.
Sekarang 5 bintang minus itu dia warnanya berubah dari tengah ke luar.
And then we press, for example, cyan.
Ya, kemudian kita pilih biru, cyan.
And now you press record,
Klik record lagi,
and you click on playback again.
klik playback lagi.
And if you want to do random,
Ya, kalau mau buat random,
you press, for example, 5
ketik 5,
star
bintang,
dot,
titik.
and you press, let's say, white.
Oke, pilih warna putih misalnya. Ya, secara acak dia ganti warnanya.
So you can see, and now let's press record, and
Klik record,
here, click again on the playback,
klik playback lagi.
and press clear.
Kemudian sekarang clear.
So now if we raise this playback,
Kalau fadernya itu dinaikkan, fader playback dinaikkan,
we can see how easily we created those looks, and we created them live, and it's so easy to use it on the live shows, and also of course as a part of your programming for the competition.
ya, jadi kelihatan mudah sekali ya. Ini kalau mau dipakai di live sangat mudah, untuk programming competition ini juga sangat mudah dan langsung kelihatan bagus.
Okay, so there are of course a lot more different things you can do. For example, if you want to for example, if you want to use let's say the not locate, let's say for example, if you're trying to update something or copy something, sometimes if you just press copy and then you copy item, it just copies the whole thing. But if you're holding the shift and then you click the copy, then you have different options to copy.
Jadi, nah, kemudian kalau misalnya kita mau ngopi sesuatu ya, kalau cuma kita copy gitu semuanya ngikut. Tapi kalau kita tahan tombol shift, maka akan muncul ini. Jadi kita bisa pilih mana yang mau di copy.
Okay. So another thing that sometimes people don't know is, let me just open this, is the fact that when you are selecting your lights, for example, and you go to, for example, to Gobo, the beam window.
Ya, kalau kita pilih satu lampu, kemudian kita pilih kubunya.
And people want to go through the Gobo one, they normally use the encoder, to go through.
Mau dia akan putar itu ya untuk lihat kubunya isinya apa aja.
Yes, they go through here. The other method is clicking on the button and you scroll through. But
Bisa juga pakai tombol itu.
if you press and hold the blue button on the console or on your laptop,
tapi kalau tombol biru itu ditahan,
press for 2 seconds and let it go,
tahan
you
2
will
detik
see
terus dilepas.
it gives you the whole range of your options on this encoder for quick access.
Langsung kelihatan pilihannya apa aja bisa diakses dengan cepat.
So again, instead of going through and clicking or using the encoder, you press click for 2 seconds and let it go. And now you have this window open.
Tahan tombol birunya, kemudian muncul itu ya. Tahan 2 detik akan muncul pilihannya.
Abdi, suara kamu jauh sekali nggak kedengeran Abdi?
Oke.
Mhm.
Ya,
What
Suara
other
kamu
question?
tadi nggak kedengeran. Bisa diulang mungkin penjelasannya.
tombol biru kita tahan tombol biru di kanan itu kita tahan 2 detik, kemudian nanti akan keluar pilihannya yang mana yang mau kita pilih kubunya ya. Jadi kita nggak usah scroll putar satu gitu. Ini ada beberapa pertanyaan yang masuk Pak, mau di ini?
Boleh ya, ditanyakan langsung aja.
Oke, Asis.
Yes.
Are you finished or there is
Yes. Yeah. Well, there are a lot more, but I've sent the link to the shortcuts so the guys can actually try to use them and find the good things. Maybe the last shortcut I will
Okay.
show that will be useful for everyone, but they need to run the latest beta for this to work. Okay?
Ya, ini ada lagi satu trik lagi dari Asis shortcut, tapi ini hanya ada di versi beta yang paling baru ya.
So, for example, in some cases, people would like to be able to access the group window, but in some cases, they also want to, in parallel, have the view heads window. So they can select the lights here instead of selecting the whole group. But sometimes they would like to have both windows to be open. Right now, as you can see, it's only one group window. So you either have to have heads or you have to have groups.
Ya, jadi kadang-kadang kita itu kepingin ada grup sama ada heads ya. Jadi kita pengen bisa personalize tiap-tiap lampu itu seperti apa, tapi kadang-kadang kita juga kepingin klik langsung satu grup jalan semua. Nah, ini bisa tampil dua-duanya.
So if you would like to have another group window to
Kalau mau
open,
ada window grup lagi yang lain,
if you're running the latest beta, you will be able to do by pressing, let's say, number 2
coba tekan nomor 2,
and press the group button.
kemudian tekan grup.
And it will create the second version of the group where I can say, I want to see view heads. And I can change the size of this window by pressing this button and making to be here.
Oke. Nah,
So
jadi
now,
bisa dibuat di resize ya windownya ya. Jadi grupnya di sendiri. Grup kedua ini isinya cuman lampu aja personalnya. Kalau yang di kiri kan kita lihat tuh semua lampu itu sudah jadi satu grup di yang kiri.
so now you have group window and the view heads window, and you can also open third window of the group if you would like to see elements. The elements are useful if you have the objects with the multiple elements. In order to open third window, you press 3 and then you press group and you can make it over here. So now you have group, view heads, and this could be view elements.
Ya, bisa nambahkan sampai yang ketiga juga. Yang ketiga ini misalnya mau dipakai buat elemen gitu ya.
So you can only open groups like that. You can open execute windows like that, the multiple windows, and a few other windows, but you cannot open all windows 2, 3, 4 times.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I said, so it's only the groups window, the execute window, and some other windows that can be opened up to 3 times. All other windows can be only opened once at a time.
Hanya only group window and execute window.
Execute window and a few other windows can be opened in multiple. All the others can be only opened as one window at a time.
Hanya group, execute and
execute.
few other saja yang bisa dipecah sampai 3 seperti ini ya. Kalau yang lainnya cuman bisa 1 window yang lainnya.
Mhm.
Oke. Yeah.
Okay, so this, and as I said, look at the documents I've sent you, and they will be able to find a lot more different shortcuts.
Ya, pastikan dicek link itu, maka akan keluar berbagai macam shortcut, bisa dicoba satu persatu dan mana yang bisa membantu atau sesuai dengan yang dibutuhkan. So we are going to questions now, Aziz.
Sure.
Ini dari Pak Junaidi, kalau mau bikin palet all bisa di satu kolom. Ini maksudnya gimana Pak ya? Bisa tolong dijelaskan?
Sorry, what?
No, I'm asking to
Sure.
the
Maksudnya kan di satu kolom itu bisa paletnya dicampur nggak, Mas? Kayak intensitas, terus apa itu, color, posisi itu di kolomnya, misalnya di kolomnya color bisa nggak?
Oke. Ya. Baik, coba ya tanyakan ke Aziz. Nah, oke Aziz, the question is, can we access color, intensity, and etc. in one column or window?
No, you cannot, because, well, you cannot do it. You mean as a palette or as encoders?
Nah, ini maksudnya Pak Junaidi itu dalam kondisinya palette atau encoder. Oh, I think you should show him palette and encoder because another console call it in another terms.
Okay, so no, if you want to make palettes, all palettes in one window, then you can do it. For example, if you select the lights and then let's say you put the color, position, beam, and maybe you want to record 3 things in the position palette window, because normally if you try to record it here, it will only record position. Here it will only record color, here it will only record beam. But if you want to combine them together over here, then you can press Shift, record. You can choose that you would like to record position, color, and beam together. You close that window by pressing the close button. And then you click here, and you will be able to have all the information in one window. If he wants to use one window to control dimming intensity, pan tilts, etc., then it's not going to work, because pan and tilt requires you to have this physical button, encoders, and a pan and tilt window, because when you press position, the position is going to be here. When you press color, the colors are going to be here. So in theory, you can create a custom light with all the, let's say you have 8 encoders for this custom light, and you have only 8 channels, then yes, you can put them in one window without changing pages, but it will be really, really awkward, because you can't, you every time you have to go back to the same window to control different things. So it's possible, but it's not advisable.
Ya, kalau ini yang tidak dikontrol, tidak diakses itu adalah warna, intensitas. Seperti tadi sudah sempat dicontohkan singkat, ya kita bisa membuatnya tampil di yang itu kelihatan kalau di jendela yang kanan itu P16 itu isinya sudah ada warna sama intensitas. Cuman kalau itu melibatkan ada pen dan tilt itu enggak bisa, karena akan di settingnya di chamsys ini ada posisinya yang crossing ya, berbeda, jadi harus pindah-pindah gitu ya. Tapi saya asumsikan kalau tadi itu cuman warna dan intensitas, saya minta Asis untuk diulangi lagi cara membuatnya. Apakah gitu Pak Junaidi? It's okay?
Iya Mas, oke Mas.
Yeah. So
Makasih.
Asis, can
Yes.
you show it again? So if it is only color and intensity and the other, so and then you made it on P16, I guess.
Again, to show
Uh,
what?
so you mix, so you make color and intensity in one, in
One
P,
palette.
yeah, in one palette, in
Okay.
P16. Okay.
Yes, if you want to do in one palette, the color, position, and intensity, then, I mean, normally you wouldn't do it because that's not the right way of programming. But if you select the lights and then you mix, for example, color, position, and then intensity, if you change, let's say, to 49%, and you would like to record it as one palette, then you hold shift record, so shift record, and
Ya,
then you
shift
can
record.
choose
Dari
dimmer.
halaman ini kita bisa milih yang mana yang mau kita include-kan ya. Tapi seperti katakan tadi, kalau ada ketambahan tadi position itu biasanya agak agak aneh ya. Jadinya
So
nanti
you can,
seperti apa.
yeah, you can record, let's say, dimmer,
Ya.
pan, tilt, and color. So now we've chosen the channels we would like to record. And yeah, maybe we're going to do the strobe as well. Then we press close and we're going to click here. So now you can see it recorded I for intensity, P for position, C for color, and L is because it's linked to the palettes that already exist.
Okay. Yeah.
So now, next time, if you select the lights and you press this palette, it will set for you dimmer, position, and color.
Ya, jadi begitu dipilih fixture itu, lampunya dipilih, langsung nanti dia akan keluar ini apa yang tadi sudah kita 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 sortir di awal ya, dengan record dan shift ya. Dia akan keluar seperti ini. Oke, seperti itu Pak Junaidi.
Iya Mas, udah tahu. Makasih.
Makasih. Oke, dari Pak Wanto. Bagaimana cara menyusun fixture, di plot fixture di MQ80? Maksudnya menyusun fixture, bisa ini Pak, dijelaskan Pak? Pak, yeah, I'm asking the attendant.
Sure, sure.
Pak Wanto. Pak Wanto masih ada di sini?
So I can, while you're coming up with the question, let me quickly show you
Okay.
one of the other shortcut that can be useful for you guys. So let's say if you have all the windows closed, let's say we'll press shift close, so all the windows closed. And now I quickly need to select the group number 1 to start controlling it, okay? It may be a show and you suddenly quickly need to select the group number 1. So normally you would have to press group and then you choose group and then you press, for example, add full, etc. So instead of doing that, you can always select the group by pressing group number. So let's say 1. And if you put star star, you actually selecting the group number 1. So if you select and you press, for example, locate, you will be able to see that the whole group 1 has been selected. So again, group selection is you press, for example, 2, and then you press star star, locate, and then you will be able to select group number 2. You can press 1 plus 2 if you want, etc., but this is group selection. So you can translate it.
Okay. Nah, ini kalau dari kondisi masih blank seperti ini, kalau kita mau pergi ke grup tertentu, shortcutnya kita tinggal klik angka dari grup berapa. Misalnya grup 1, kemudian kita klik bintang 2 kali, nanti dia akan langsung pergi ke grup 1 itu muncul. Bisa juga kalau mau 1 dan 2, 1 plus 2 bintang-bintang akan muncul grup 1 dan grup 2. Shortcutnya.
Yeah. And if you want to select moving lights or lights instead of the group, then you can use the shortcut with the group fiction number, let's say 1 through 10, and then you press add full. You will be able to select the lights. For example, in the vis, you will see the lights are on. The 10 lights are on.
Oke.
Okay, so light selection is the group. For example, sorry, the light number at full will select one light. And if you want to select multiple lights, you can always select 1 through 15 at full. And then you will be able to select 15 lights. And
Ya.
you can see they're all on.
Ini kalau mau milih fixture-nya, milih lampunya, kita tekan 1, kemudian mau sampai berapa, kemudian add full ya, gitu ya. Sampainya itu pakai true ya, 1 sampai 10 misalnya, 1, true, 10, add full. Dia akan langsung kelihatan lampu nomor 1 sampai 10 nyala.
Mhm.
Oke.
Cool.
Oke.
Anything? Yeah. Anything else here? Or yeah, ask the questions.
Oke. No more new question in chats.
No? Okay. Yeah. If you have, yeah, I mean, it's a good time to ask me while I'm here because you don't see me every day. And yeah, and I'm happy to show.
Ya, jadi ini memang seperti yang dari awal tadi saya udah sempat singgung ya. Ini sangat jarang untuk kita bisa bertemu langsung dengan Aziz. He's a very special guy ya. Kemarin pun dia itu memberikan training itu bukan untuk LD sembarangan. LD yang kemarin dia kasih untuk training itu LD-nya Dua Lipa ya. Dua Lipa itu sekarang mungkin salah satu top artis ya yang sedang booming sekali kan. Si Aziz kemarin sedang kasih pelatihan itu untuk LD-nya Dua Lipa ya, jadi makanya kemarin dia nggak bisa gabung ya. Jadi mumpung dia ada di sini, kalau ada pertanyaan pastikan kita tanya. Pertanyaan sulit-sulit pun nggak masalah atau pertanyaan yang simpel tetapi efektif untuk kita bisa persiapin show file kita untuk pertandingan. Silahkan ya.
What you were saying?
It's okay. I'm saying all the good things about you.
Yeah, but you also mentioned the Dua Lipa lighting design.
Yes, because yesterday you gave training for the Dua Lipa
Yes.
lighting designers, right? So
Yes. So yeah. So this guy has been the lighting designer of Dua Lipa. Well, he's a lighting operator. So he hasn't
yes,
designed the show. He's been
yeah.
operator for last 4 years with her.
Oh, okay, that's
When
great.
she was small, they had like 6 lights,
Ah,
small. And now she's on the level of the stadiums.
yeah,
These
yeah,
arena
yeah.
shows.
He's
So and
one.
he's been with yeah.
Yeah, Dua Lipa is right now is like one of the top artists in the world right now.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I spoke with him yesterday. I taught him because he's using the different console. But I
Yeah.
showed him how to use the console. He was very impressed, and he didn't realize that how powerful the Magic Cube was.
Yeah.
And so he will start learning and using it more. because he's working with, well, not on the Dua Lipa, but he's working on the other film and TV projects with the other big names. So hopefully they will be using the chamsys products there. So then he's going to be operating it. But what it means is next time he has the choice to choose the console. If he's comfortable, he will be able to choose Magic Q, because when we were comparing yesterday Magic Q and Grande May he was using before, he was saying that some of the functions I was showing him, they're not available on Grande May at all. So that's why he was very surprised. Like, for example, let me show you a very powerful feature. I don't know if you know it. It's called group effects. Just ask them, do they know what's the group effects? If they don't, I will show how it works.
Teman-teman, apakah ada yang tahu yang namanya group effects? Teman-teman, apakah ada yang tahu yang namanya group effects? Tidak, no.
No, they don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. I will show them, and it's very powerful feature.
Ini
And
features
if they
yang
know how
sangat
to use
powerful.
it,
Yep.
they will be able to save a lot of time. And this feature is not available on Grande May.
Ya, features ini pun juga nggak ada yang sampai di konsol seperti Grand MA ya, Grand MA.
Okay. So let me first create two groups so I can show you how they work. So I'll put 1 through 10 add, and I will create group 1, and then I'm going to do 11 through 20 add, and I'll create group 2. So what I created is I created that group. So I will say I call them left, not stage right, but I'll call them left just to make it simple. And I'm going to call this one right. So now this is the situation. Let's say you have used one group of lights. Okay, we press add effects, intensity, dimmer chase. So let's put it down. So now you can see the lights is running an effect from left to right. Okay, we will choose the width. We'll make the width smaller. Sorry, we'll make the width maybe like that. And we're going to give direction to be center out. Okay, so let's save this one as 1Q. So now I have the same group of lights, okay, but I will run it as a group effect. And I will go and I'll say intensity, dimmer chase. So you can see it start blinking all of them together. And I will change it, the group spread, I'm going to change to all channels. Okay, so you can see it. You change the width, make it small. A little bit smaller. Okay, and I'll change the direction, center out, same, like I did before.
Okay.
And I'll press record, and I'll record it here. So these effects are exactly the same. So if I go here, they're exactly the same. There's no difference between them, apart from that one of them is the standard effect, and the second one is the group effect. Okay. So you can explain?
Ya, jadi group effect yang tadi sudah direkam di encoder yang pertama dan yang kedua itu kalau dilihat
kedua dan ketiga.
Dua dan ketiga secara visual sama. Tapi yang berbeda adalah yang ketiga itu adalah group effects.
Okay, can you explain more? Yep.
Yes. So that's not all. So the reason I showed you this is to show that, let's say your situation, you programmed 20 lights, okay? We have the effects. So now imagine you are coming with this show, okay? You program the show and you're coming to the new place and now you don't have 20 lights, you have only 12 lights.
Ya, jadi misalnya pada sebuah pertunjukan sebelumnya kita sudah punya 20 lampu dan kita sudah punya setup seperti ini, tapi di tempat lain ternyata cuma 12 lampunya.
So the problem is for you, if you don't have 20 lights, your effect is not going to be symmetrical because you do not have exact amount of lights when you created effect. Am I correct?
Nah, oke. Nah, masalahnya adalah kalau ada perubahan jumlah, nanti efek kita tidak akan simetris lagi karena kan sudah beda jumlahnya dengan yang sebelumnya dan yang sekarang kita hadapi.
So, and I will show you clearly what happens when you don't have the lights and you have to remove them. So, for example, in this show, I have only 12 Maverick MK2 spots. I don't have 20. So what I will do is, to make the group working correctly, I will remove 8 lights out of this group.
Ya, yang di grup itu akan dikurangi 8 ya, biar jadi 12.
So to do this, I will select the group window. I will go to the view heads. Okay. And then I will select the lights number 13, 14. I use the shift button. 15,
Pakai
16,
ya.
17, 18,
Kurangi.
19, 20. So I've selected 8 lights. Then I go back to the view group. I hold the shift button
Kembali lagi
and I press
tekan shift,
record.
kemudian tekan record.
Here I will choose record remove.
Pilih record remove.
Now you close that window, press close.
Close.
And then you click on that group.
Klik lagi grup yang tadi.
So now you can see I have 12 lights.
Sekarang tinggal 12
I don't have
ya,
20 lights.
fixernya.
So imagine now you run this first group, first effect. Imagine you do not have these 8 lights. So that means your effect is going to be going really weird, because imagine you do not have this half.
Yeah.
And that means your effect is not optimized to run on 12 lights.
Bayangkan
So that
kalau
means you
cuma
have
12
to
ya, jadi
redo
ada
the
8
effect.
lampu.
Ya, yang dijelasin sama Asis kalau memang kita dengan cara yang normal, yang biasa ya. Kalau kita lihat kan sebetulnya udah dirubah masih lightingnya sisa hanya tinggal 12 yang awalnya ada 20 kan. Tapi dengan kondisi normal, lightingnya nggak akan bisa betul-betul optimize seperti yang tadi udah didesain. Oke.
And
Continue,
now
Asis.
this is the playback with the group effect. Look what's going to happen. See? It optimized now to the new size of 12 lights.
Oke. Sekarang kalau dengan
now-
group effects ya tetap optimize di 12.
Yes. So that means now, if you made the effect for 20 lights and you're coming with Ivan and you're doing the show with 200 lights, you add in the group more lights and becomes 200, the effect will go on 200 lights. So this is very, very powerful tool, and it will save you a lot of your time.
Ya. Ya ini
Ya,
kalau
jadi-
contohnya kalau kita bikin kayak ginian ya kan, dengan jumlah fixtures yang sampai ratusan, 200 moving heads itu akan save kita menyingkat banyak-banyak waktu.
Okay. So,
Yes,
and
Abdi.
again, if you want me to fix it, I can put those 8 lights back, and you're going to see how this effect fixes itself. I go to view heads. The same 8 lights are selected. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I go to the view group. Sorry. View group. I press shift. So shift record, I press merge just to combine them together, press close, and I click on the group. Now, if I run this effect, see, the effect works straight away with 20 lights. You don't need to do anything else here. Only update your group and the effect will run as well. So, as I said, this is the difference between standard effect and group effect.
Ya, itu bedanya antara FX biasa dan group FX ya. Jadi kalau group FX sangat memudahkan, tinggal di-update jumlahnya seperti yang tadi. Dia otomatis akan menyesuaikan jumlah fixture-nya dan FX-nya itu jalannya otomatis disesuaikan sama dia. So, this is another question, Aziz.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. How to
Boleh diulang.
how to make a soft color?
Soft, what do you mean soft color?
Artinya apa Pak Jun? Soft color itu artinya apa Pak Jun?
Kalau di MA itu kayak color picture itu, Pak.
Color picker.
Color picker?
Yes. Iya, jadi colornya pas itu bisa dipilih langsung sama delay-delaynya itu.
Sorry, gimana pertanyaannya maksudnya sekali lagi?
Soft color kan kayak di MA itu color picture itu.
Sorry, soft color, soft palette. What?
Yes, soft palette.
Soft palettes.
Okay.
Soft palettes,
Okay.
Gallery.
Sorry.
Well, it will take about 25 minutes for me to explain how to do it. I have a video for it available on YouTube. It's not a problem. Soft palettes, basically the difference between normal palettes and a soft palette, I can show quickly. If you want, I can show quickly. But if I start explaining everything step by step with a translation, it will take a long time.
Iya.
Okay.
Cuman mau ditunjukin aja ya Pak, karena kalau mau dia jelasin semuanya akan butuh waktu sangat lama, bisa 20 menit sendiri, dia punya videonya lengkap, tapi dia ini mau tunjukin sebentar. Oke Pak Junaidi ya. Oke, please go ahead Aziz.
Ya, Pak, and share the link, Aziz.
And share the link.
Okay, so the difference between normal palettes and a soft palettes is the soft palettes are dynamic palettes that can be updated live, and the playbacks will be updating at the same time. How it works, I will explain. So if you have, let's say, if you select your lights, and for example, apply, let's say, any color here, then you choose, you go down. Let's say no. You know what? We'll create our own color. Just sorry. Give me a second. Sorry. Give me a second. Sorry, I have a problem with Zoom. Give me a second. Share here. Okay. So if you select give me a second. I'll make it a little bit bigger. To make the soft palette, let's say if I select my lights and set some colors, let's say color, and I'll set some colors here. Okay, just any color. It doesn't really matter. And then I move in the color window, and I'll press record, and I'll save it here. Okay, so to make it easier for me, I will call this one soft 1. So that's going to be my soft palette 1. And then I will make another palette, another color. And I'm going to click here. And I'm going to call this palette, I'm going to call it soft 2. Just so I know that they're soft palettes. Now I will create, let's say, a chase where my first step, give me a second, where my first step will be, so I'll switch it on, where my first step is going to be maybe, you know what, actually no. I'll do the left side of my lights will be this color, and I will record that as my first step. In the second step, I'll press clear. I'll select the right side of my lights and I'll select them this color. So now I'll press record and I'll press it here. So what I have created, or maybe we can do even two of them together. Record. I will make, yeah, for example, I will say add full, and I will make them, so I will make the left to be this, right to be that, and I will update both of them together in one playback. So we have two playbacks, one of them with both of them looking static, and this one is going to be chase, 1 and 2. Okay, so that's just the basic two things. Now, how does the soft palette help you when you're programming some complex shows? If you open an execute window, and then, for example, you say create set grid size, and I'll make it, let's say, 15 by 8. So I'll make the grid like that. Then I will come and I'll say, okay, from layout, so from group 1, so I'll press group window, I'll press copy, left group, and I'll drop it here. Now I will open the color window. So if I select this group and I open color, I can select, let's say, some starting colors. Let's say press copy, and I copy 10 colors, press enter, and drop it here. And the last color I'm going to drop here would be my soft palette 1. So I'll press soft, copy, soft, button 1. Okay? So then I'm going to press clear. I'm going to copy the same thing, press enter, and I drop it here. Now I remove that group and replace it with right thing, and the color soft key, I will replace it with a copy of soft key 2. Now I will select this light, this palette, and I'll make it as an item, as the button type. Where was it? No, sorry. I will change it to soft. And this one I'll change to soft. Now, if I select this together with a soft and I'll set it in the region, and this saved it with a soft and set it in the region. Now, all these buttons, color buttons, will work with this soft key, will work with that group. So, how it will help me? The way it helps is this. As if you see here, see the lights here, this is playback, okay? This is not a programmer, this is playback. So now, if I want to change the color for this light, for this group of lights, inside of the playback to red, I press red, and it changes this color. If I press colors for this side of the lights, it changes to this color. So you may ask the question saying, okay, so how is it going to help? First of all, if you look in the programmer window, you can see nothing is in the programmer, meaning that means you can continue working with the programmer and you are not affecting it. If I created a standard palettes, every time I press on the standard palettes, they will be coming as part of the programmer. So another example. See, I've changed the palettes here to red and yellow, okay? What's happening now? When you press red palette, it goes here to the soft palette, and the soft palette gets updated automatically. And when it gets updated, it goes and updates playbacks. So that means if I put this fader down and I run my chase, see which color it's running the chase with this and this color. So that means I can change to the cyan and I can change to the magenta, and you can see they change nicely into the different colors. So the good thing about this is following. You can create one chase, for example, or one cue stack or whatever for song number one, where the colors you're going to be using will be colors soft palette 1, soft palette 2, soft palette 3, and soft palette 4, for example, 4 colors. And you are updating them here. Then you're going to the next song. So that means the next song, you don't need to create the same chase. All you have to do is update the palettes here, and the next song will have the new looking looks. Then you go to the next song, you use the same palette, but just update the colors. And now in the new song, the very same palette that you created only once will have new colors. So that means it saves you a lot of time. Instead of you creating a chase and making with the colors one color, and then making the chase with another color, and making the same chase with another color, making the same. So now, look, I made only one chase, okay? So that means I'm occupying only one fader, and because I'm using soft keys, I quickly update colors. And if you use something like Avolites, you would have to create 10 or 20 chases. If you use something like MA, you'll have to create same things, unless you make really, really complex macro. I don't know, maybe. But otherwise, you have to make it again and again and again. In this case, you don't. Okay? If you want to learn it again step by step, it's in English. There is on my short playlist I've sent you about chamsys tutorials. I made it in English, so you can learn it there as well. Okay?
Okay.
Any other
Ve-
questions?
Very interesting, Aziz. And yeah, we still have questions from Coco Saputra.
Mhm.
Can you show us an example of updating queues?
Ah, of course, of course. It's
Yeah,
it's
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 very
it's quite
easy.
simple. It's very simple. Okay, so let's say there are two methods of updating queues. Okay, apart from the soft palettes I just showed you. So, for example, if you have a playback, we'll select the lights. Okay, we'll select the lights. We'll press locate, and let's say we're going to put them in red, and I will record it as here. So this is my playback. Okay, I'll raise it. Is my red playback. So now you would like to update that playback to the yellow color. Okay, so there are two methods of doing this. The first method is you press include button, this one, INC, ink, you click, and then you click on the playback. So it takes all the values, all the information, puts it into the programmer. Now you click on yellow, change to the yellow, and you press update. Now press clear. See, the picture has been updated here as well. So now if you raise it, now you have it in red. This is method number one of updating it. There is another method. Let's say you you switch it on and it shows you yellow. And you're like, you know what? I would like to actually add some position into that look. Okay?
Jadi yang diupdate bukan hanya warnanya, tetapi sekarang yang akan diupdate update sama Aziz posisinya.
So you can select your lights, maybe change position. So you move the position maybe somewhere like this. So you change the position. Okay, let's say we're happy with this. And now if you hold shift or press shift and press record, it brings you this window. So what you need to do is you need to press record merge. Okay. Now you click on that window on your playback, and it tells you it merged programmer with Q playback 8. Now you press clear, you put the fader down, you put the fader up, and it's there. So this is two methods of updating cues. But some people getting confused how to do it if it's a chase or cue stack. So let's say I will create a second loop. I'll select the lights, make it red, maybe position it slightly to the left, and I will record it on the top. So you have two steps, okay? So you have step 1 and you have step 2. So you have two-step chase. So now you may ask me questions saying, Aziz, how do you update the second step of the chase? You do it exactly the same as you did normal step. You press include. Now, because you want to update step number 2, you press 2, and then you click on the chase. Now, the second step is in the programmer. You can see here. And I will update the color to magenta, and I press update. Now press clear. So now if I erase it, step 1, step 2, step 1, step 2. Sorry. What's going on the phone?
Udah Pak Koko? Apakah terjawab Pak Koko?
And I can also show you a really good thing that some of you will understand me, because you know we all lighting operators, we're all programmers. We all been in a situation when you by accident recorded a smoke machine or hazer into the playback. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure most of the people in this group who ever worked on programming lights, you know, you all did this mistake. You recorded something by accident into the playback.
Ya, yang dia jelasin sekarang, kita semua pasti pernah ngalamin ya, semua lighting operator, lighting programmer, kadang kita salah record. Kata dia tadi kasih contoh mungkin masukin hazer malahan di playback. Nah, ini apa yang akan dia lakukan sekarang? Please continue.
Yes, so we all know that we've been there. We all did this mistake. And now I will show you how to fix this mistake.
Oke, gimana caranya untuk memperbaiki kesalahan itu?
So, for example, let's say this, I don't want to chase. Let's say it's Q stack. Okay. So let's say this is the step. So let's say instead of the chase, I would like to completely remove one of the lights here. Okay, like completely remove from step 1. Like I don't want to see it there. Maybe it's a smoke machine. I recorded by accident. So how to do it? The easiest way to do it, you select your smoke machine. Let's say this is my smoke machine. I'll press locate, so you can see this is my smoke machine. Now, what I will do is, because I put it in the programmer, the whole smoke machine, or let's say the light, I will then press Shift Record or Shift Record. I will choose Record Remove. Okay. And now, because I chosen Record Remove, I can click on my queue stack. If I click on it, it will tell me, do you want to remove it from the current queue, meaning from the queue number 1, or from entire queue stack? Let's say entire queue stack, because I want to remove it from all the steps I created accidentally.
Okay.
Now, if you press clear and you put the fader down and you raise the fader up, you will see that this light is completely switched off. See, it's empty. Let's go to the next step. And yeah, they don't have intensity, but you will know the intensity is there. So this light had no information there at all. So the trick is, it's called record remove. So if you want to remove something, you put this information into the programmer, like a template, like the reference, and then shift record, record remove, and then you click on the group or on the playback. So this method helped me a lot of times on chamsys. When I made a mistake, I remove what is not necessary. For example, if I want to remove the color, okay? So let's say from this look, let's say from this look, from step number 1, let's say step number 1, I want to remove the color from the left 10 lights, completely remove. I want to keep the position, I want to keep the dimmer, but I want to remove the color completely. So I will select my left lights, this left 10. I will put any information about the color in the program. Let's say this, don't worry about the color because we will be removing it completely. Then you hold shift, you click on record, you say record, remove. Then you press close and you click on the queue stack. And it tells you, would you like to remove from entire? You say no, from current queue. Now, if you press clear and you move your fader down and raise the fader up. Sorry, why is my yellow there? Because I didn't reset the lights, of course. I need to reset my lights. Now, if I raise my fader, you will see. See, the dimmer is still there, the position is still there, but the color is completely gone. So that means if you put a reference information, any reference information about the color, then it will remove the color. If you press locate, that means you put everything into the programmer, then it will completely remove, like I will do now. I'll press left, I'll press locate, so all the information is in the programmer here. I press shift, record, record the remove, and then I click on my queue stack and I press from current queue. Now, if I put my fader down, put my fader up, see, this been gone completely.
Okay.
Okay? Anything else? I have another 15 minutes if you want. Then I
Jelas
have to
Pak
go
Koko.
and bring my children.
Oh yeah, seems that actually Tommy already joined us, Asis.
Yes.
And
yes.
yeah, it's we feel very sorry. Kita sangat
That's okay.
bersimpati terhadap Tommy. Tommy udah join di sini sekarang. Kita turut belasungkawa untuk wafatnya Papi Tommy, tapi Tommy sekarang ada di sini di grup ini. Ya, dia baru aja chat yang terakhir itu. Dan Tommy besok masih akan membantu kita untuk memberikan step by step di dalam bahasa Indonesia yang akan sangat membantu kita dan akan lebih detail. Kalian bisa tanya langsung kalian bisa tanya langsung lebih leluasa karena sesama bahasa Indonesia ya. Okay. Okay. So yeah. I'm just saying to everyone that Tommy is also going to be with us again tomorrow to
Okay.
share more stuff that has not been covered today. Yeah, because seems that we are really running out of time, right? We
No
were
problem.
supposed
Yeah.
to finish in 1.5 hours, and it's been more than 2 hours, and
Yeah, that's
your
okay.
kids are waiting for you.
No, no, no. They're in the school. They're in
Oh,
the
they are
school.
in
I have to
school.
drive there.
Ah,
Yeah,
I
yeah. So
see.
don't worry. As I said, it's my pleasure. Thank you
Yep.
for inviting me, Andy.
Yes,
I told
yes.
you a lot of times that if you need me, I'm happy to join,
Thank
and
you
I'm
very
happy
much,
to share the
Aziz.
information
Yes.
with the Indonesian users. So, and if they have any questions, let's give three more questions, short ones, 5 minutes. If they have questions, if they use the different platforms before, maybe Avalites, maybe Grandame or something like this, if they have specific questions from their experience of using the different platform and how to do it here, I'm happy to show it
Yeah.
if they have questions. Just
Yeah.
feel free to ask. Maybe you're going to say on Avalites we do this. How would you do that here? And I'm happy to show it.
Oke, jadi yang baru aja si Asis bicarakan, dia akan kasih kesempatan buat kita 3 pertanyaan lagi ya. Dia akan kasih buat kita 3 pertanyaan pertanyaan lagi untuk dia bisa jawab. Mungkin salah satunya juga mungkin kalau teman-teman yang udah biasa menggunakan platform lain seperti Evolites atau menggunakan Grand MA, ya kan, apa yang kalian lakukan di sana, yang kalian nyaman menurut kalian itu powerful dan apakah itu bisa dilakukan di chamsys di sini, bisa tolong ditanyakan ke dia akan jelasin dengan sangat detail tentang apa yang bisa dilakukan di dalam chamsys. Dia akan kasih 3 pertanyaan terakhir sebelum dia harus cabut karena dia harus jemput anaknya dia. Ayo teman-teman, kalau memang masih ada pertanyaan.
Okay, Aziz.
Yeah.
There is a question how to make a soft palette, but it is for Kubu or Beam.
For Gobo for Beam.
Yes, soft palette. Yeah, you have show us soft palette with
Yeah,
color.
it's the same thing I did for color, same thing, but you just use you just create like how to say. Okay, so the way I would do it, it's going to be very simple. I will select my lights. I will choose the gobo or beam. Okay, so I will choose any gobo, just like just any. I will select. Let's say gobo one is going to be this. Gobo two is open, so it's all okay. And then I will record it as one gobo, and then I will choose different gobo from gobo one, and I will record it as second gobo. I'll press set. This one is going to be soft one, and this is going to be soft two. So now, if you want to do the normal playback, so we're going to do, let's say, we're going to switch them all, and then we're going to select the left head to have this lights, and the right head to have this gobo, and then I will record this as one cue, so just we can show for the example, okay? So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press exec, I'm gonna copy that group over here, then I'm gonna go to the beam window, so I'm gonna select the lights, I'm gonna copy the beam window, and I'm gonna press copy, and I will select this 10 gobo, press enter over here, and then I'm gonna go to the beam window and I'm gonna copy this soft over here. Now I will copy it and I'll drop it here. Sorry, give me a second. I'll press copy, then I will select this, I'll drop it here. And now I'm gonna change the group. So I will remove that group. Yes, give me a second. And I'm gonna move the beam soft 2 over here, remove it, move over here. Now, if I select this and I'll make the region, and I'll move this one as a region. Okay, so now when you have selected this, I can choose this gobo and I can choose that gobo, and they will be updating me everything live inside of the playbacks. So all the changes are happening inside of your playback here. Okay, see, it says here they have a reference soft 1. That's all they know. So now when you go and here's soft 2, so that means when you're updating them, you do not take anything into the programmer. It's all changing inside of your playback. Okay, that's it. This is the soft key, but for soft palettes, but this is for Gobo and Beam.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
And there is a question in the chat from Pensaraki. In Avo Lights Pearl, you have up to 3 layers of the available feather board. Can we also have more than 1 layer of feather here?
It says what enable you have 3 layers of available fader board layer. It probably is probably talking about the preset faders. Is this what he's talking about? Probably preset faders. So
I
here
think
for the preset, yeah.
I think what he means by layer is that in chamsys, the faders,
Yeah.
there are numbers of faders, right?
Which one?
Yeah, the number of the playback faders.
Yes, it's 10.
Yep.
Playback 1, 2, 3, 4. 10.
Yes, 10 of them. And how many can we layer them? Apakah pertanyaannya seperti itu, Pak Aben? Jadi kita bisa
At the
berapa?
same, you talking about at the same time.
Ya, apakah pertanyaan apa?
Kalau di Evolite Pearl itu kan kita bisa pakai misalkan ada 8 fader, ada 8 total fader.
Sorry, bisa agak keras dikit Pak Ben?
Sorry, ini gimana?
Ya, oke.
Oke, tadi jauh dari mic.
It's okay, bukan orang lighting, bukan orang sound. Oke, Pak, dimaafkan.
Kalau di Evolite Pearl itu kan, let's say we have 8 fader in the board. Tapi itu kan bisa juga kita punya 3 layer at the same time, jadi total fader kita ada 24 dengan 3 layer itu.
Okay, he said that in Pearl, they have 8 faders for the first layer, but he can do times 3, so 3 times 8 faders, so he has total of 24.
No, he has not 8. He's got 10 faders on the playback on the Pearl.
Oh yeah, 10.
10. No, we don't you don't change, like on the Pearl, it was always a pain to work with this anyway. So here you have one page. You can change the pages up like on a roller when you're scrolling the roller, up and down. You have the pages up and down. And then if you want to have, this is vertical. So on the MQ500M, the new version of MQ500, you can have 8 of the banks. So what you're talking about is the banks of the playbacks.
Yep.
So the banks are only available on the MQ500M, and you have 8 or 9 banks on that console. So on this one, you have only one bank, but then you have pages up. You can do this. But don't forget that whatever you cannot fit here, okay, in one page, you can always open the playback window, okay? And in the playback window, you can always change and you can select something from the different page. And if this is not enough for you, you can always open an execute window, okay? For example, like this, I can make set grid size to be, for example, 10 by 1, okay? And now I can drop another 10 playbacks here. Okay, can drop like this. Okay, and now I can convert them into the type fader. So I can make it like this. So you have your playbacks here, and then you have playbacks here, and then you can have multiple pages. So you can have a lot of pages of the virtual playbacks. It's not a problem. And this is still not all, because if you want, you can also trigger them from the QStack store. So instead of pressing here, you can actually press here. Okay, that's going to be exactly the same thing, but you're using from the different page. So let's say you change page here. Okay, you do not see this. We can still trigger it from here. No one stops you. So you have a lot of places where you can find your playbacks. And again, the best place is execute window. You can drop it here and you can use it. I normally, even if I make a lot of palettes and basking things on the screen, the hazer smoke machine, I make it like a virtual fader and I drop it on the screen and I use it. So that's very, very simple.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
No, no problem.
Pak Ben jawabannya udah terjawab dengan jelas Pak Ben?
Sudah baik. Terima kasih Pak.
Oke, terima kasih Pak Ben.
Okay. Any other questions?
Ada pertanyaan lain lagi? Last questions? Last questions? I don't know whether they all totally understand you or they are all confused.
Okay, so what I'm planning to do very soon as well. I'm planning to make a small video. Well, not small video. It's going to be like maybe 30 minutes, 20, 30 minutes video where I want to show how to adapt. Let's say, for example, if you're using the different consoles, let's say Evolet's Pearl. Okay, so because you're coming from the Pearl, so it's hard to adapt to the new things. So I'm planning to make a separate video. It's going to be in English. I mean, Tommy can translate if he wants, but I'll try to make it like an example. So if you come from the different console, let's say like Avolites, Pearl, and if you want to transition to chamsys, I will try to explain with the terminology easier for the people who use Pearls, for example. Yeah, let's say, for example, if they get used to using the preset faders, you know, on the Pearl, here, if they open intensity view, they have presets. It's the same things as they had on the Pearl, the top faders. This is exactly the same place.
Yeah.
So I'll try to show it with stuff that will be easier to remember and easier to understand.
Ya, jadi dia nanti mau bikinin video-video singkat sebetulnya intinya untuk mempermudah kita transisi dari konsol kita yang lain atau dari konsol kita yang lain ke chamsys. Karena sebetulnya satu hal yang mungkin teman-teman juga banyak yang belum tahu, si owner dan juga creator-nya chamsys ini sebetulnya otak di belakang programnya si Evolite sebetulnya. Cuman karena mereka merasa sebetulnya masih banyak sekali yang bisa dikembangin, tetapi secara perusahaan mereka sangat kaku dan mereka sangat lamban di dalam mengembangkan. Oleh karena itu mereka bikin perusahaan ini yang namanya chamsys yang satu itu. Yang owner yang kedua itu sebetulnya dia itu otak di belakang pengembangannya hardware-nya dari Hawk ya. Jadi ini memang otaknya si Evolites dan otaknya si Hawk yang memang creating si chamsys ini tadi. Oleh karena dan si Asis sendiri, Asis ini orang yang sudah how long have you been working with Evolites before you join chamsys years ago, Aziz?
10.5 years.
Nah, jadi dia udah bekerja untuk Evolites itu lebih dari 10 tahun, 10,5 tahun. Jadi dia paham sekali tentang yang namanya Evolites ya. Jadi dia tahu sekali kelemahan-kelemahannya. Oleh karena itu dia sangat happy untuk bisa bergabung di chamsys karena begitu banyak yang bisa dilakukan oleh chamsys di luar si Evolites. Oke, jadi mungkin sementara seperti itu. Maybe that's okay for now. Aziz, and maybe
Yes.
we should take picture together first, okay? Before we finish. And
Okay.
can you open your
Yeah, sure.
your camera, because what we see right now is only your name.
Give me a second.
Yeah. Wow. Where's your headphones? You.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You look good. Don't worry. You look good. You look good. Okay. So.
Not as good as your parents, but it's okay.
Dan mungkin sebelumnya kita kasih tepuk tangan dulu, teman-teman mungkin bisa buka apa kameranya dulu, kita kasih applause untuk si Aziz ya, karena udah mau share buat kita ya. Dan kita wow, Pak Junaidi itu pakai maskernya Aziz itu ya. Oke, luar biasa Pak Jun.
We're not.
Iya Pak.
Yes, he's wearing the mask from Aziz, you know, because we distribute we distribute more than 4,000 masks for all the people who are doing this industry, whether they are the lighting programmer, and then the sound operators and crews. We are distributing thousands of them. Oke. Teman-teman bisa ini itu teman-teman bisa tolong ini apa namanya kameranya sebentar untuk kita bisa foto bersama. Udah semua bisa? Keluarin semua kamera. Wait.
Okay. Where's Angie? I'm going to take a picture.
Sama sekali.
Terima kasih kepada Bapak Ibu.
Okay, let's take pictures together. 1, 2, kita gini ya. Oke lah, bebas. Oke, gaya bebas. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh yuy. Okay. Once more, thank you very much, Aziz, for your time, for sharing with us. Yes, we really appreciate your time and your effort to help us to be better. Okay.
Hope to see you next time again.
See you next time, Aziz. And selamat malam teman-teman. Kita ketemu besok. Kita mau ada lagi yang akan dibawakan oleh Tommy. Kalian akan bisa, Tommy juga step by step bagus sekali, ya. Dan kita bisa share lebih banyak besok. Oke. Selamat malam semuanya. Selamat istirahat. Thank you, Aziz.
Malam, Pak.
Bye-bye. Gimana Bro Teguh? Bro Teguh.
Ya,
Pak Jun. Akhirnya kita ketemunya di Zoom ini.
Ketemunya di Zoom. Iya kok, udah lama nggak ketemu nih.
Nggak ketemu di venue. Wah,
Sibuk Pak.
Sibuk terus ya, Teguh ya.
Sibuk mulu Pak.
Bro Ableh juga sama aja itu, sibuk terus itu, katanya sekarang buka usaha baru, mantap. Wah, ini yang lain kempot-kempot, yang lain pusing ini, Bro Ableh ini udah mau buka cabang yang kedua katanya. Wah, toko bahan bangunan. Bro, kamu buka toko bahan bangunan tuh nggak beda jauh sama orang lighting, Bro. Orang lighting kena debu-debu ya kan, Bro? Kamu buka toko bahan bangunan cuma kena semen kamu, Lebih bahaya itu bro dibandingin debu. Tapi selamat ya bro Abel.
Siapa.
Oke. Selamat malam ya semuanya ya. Selamat istirahat. Oke. Jangan lupa share ya ke teman-teman ya buat besok ya. Thank you.
Siap.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you Tommy. Udah gabung Tom. Oh udah hilang. Dia masih bergabung dia, kasihan. Oke.